Hi, folks, welcome back. So, I wanted to do a quick review of this recent book by Gene Kim and Steve Yegi on vibe coding. And it is the second of two big vibe coding book releases this fall. The first one was by Adi Osmani. I have a review of that on my channel as well. I'll leave a link down below. But yeah, I don't want to bury the lead. This book was awesome. I would give it 5 stars. I think every software engineer that is trying to learn and understand how to change their practices, their mindset, their goals for programming in the age of AI should read this book. I think it's really a very well written, very pertinent book for every software engineer today. All right, so now that you know my rating, let me get into a more detailed review. I had pre-ordered this book because I'm a long-time follower of Steve Yegi back when he was writing 10,000 word blogs about Emacs. And one of the fears with a book like this is that it will be outdated as soon as it's published in a field that is moving so fast. But both Steve Yegi and Jim Kim are really superlative writers. And that is one of the things that really sets this book apart. It's not your typical technical programming book. The quality of the writing, the way they pull you in, the way they have a consistent, coherent narrative throughout the book really comes through. Okay, so how did they manage to beat this rap of in a field that moves so fast being outdated as soon as it was published? The book really talks about general principles. It doesn't have anything about how to use specific tools, but the principles and techniques and mindsets they're talking about apply to all these AI tools. But very importantly, I think the place from which they're writing it is very informed by the very latest crop of these tools, namely these CLI agents that can really autonomously do medium to large software engineering tasks. One of the things that really struck me about this book that is that they aren't simply hyping the technology. Throughout the book, the attitude they have is that this is a very, very sharp tool, and they want to equip programmers to use it judiciously and carefully and without cutting themselves. One of the things I really enjoyed about the book was just how many concrete examples of vibe coding they have that the authors themselves did. So both Gene and Yegi, they've both actively been vibe coding, and that experience really shows in this book. They talk about the things they tried to vibe code, all the traps they fell into, how they fixed those traps. And so it comes across as really very concrete and not abstract. There's two main narrative abstractions that run through this entire book. The first is what they've abbreviated as FAAFO, FAAFO, which is an acronym for why you would even want to do vibe coding, what's the value in it. And the acronym stands for fast, ambitious, autonomous, fun, and optionality. So vibe coding gets you all those things. It lets you program fast. It lets you build more ambitious things. It lets you delegate work so that these agents are autonomous. It makes programming fun, and it gives you a lot of optionality in that you can explore a lot of alternatives now with vibe coding tools that you couldn't in the past because you didn't have enough time to do it. The other abstraction, the narrative abstraction that runs throughout the book, is that of a head chef in a kitchen. And when I first saw it around the first chapter, I wasn't sure if that was a great abstraction, but they really sell it. They really use that narrative abstraction well throughout the book. I sound like I'm fanboying on this book, but I really did enjoy this book. I found myself nodding along with pretty much everything the authors wrote in it, and they wrote it in a way that was just good writing, not just good technical writing, just very, it pulls you in. So, yeah, highly recommend 5 out of 5 stars. Go check it out. Thanks.